Yes.
Did you like the scene in Star Trek better?
Yeah, I thought that was, I enjoyed making Star Trek 4 more than any of the other films. I really had a good time. I love the fact that we went on location. Location means we left the studio. We went to shoot, you know, on the streets of San Francisco, aboard an aircraft carrier in San Diego. All of that made it a much more exciting adventure. Just as an actor, I had more fun doing it. There were certain hazards involved in shooting Star Trek 4, not the least of which had to do with the real Marines that we used. The people who played the Marines were in fact Marines. When they chased me across the deck of the ship, they were really chasing me. You know, there's a certain mentality to the military mind, and particularly to Marines. I mean, they are programmed. You know, when they learn to obey orders and to do whatever is required to succeed. That's admiral in war. It's not necessarily admiral when they're told, chase that guy over there who's playing a Russian, you know? And in fact, when Leonard said he wanted me to race across the deck of the ship, and they were going to chase me, and I said, how fast do you want me to go? And he says, well, you know, go as fast as you can. Well, I had plenty of incentive, you know. I saw these guys back there, you know, kind of pawing the earth, getting ready to charge, and I thought, I will certainly endeavor not to let them catch me. But I noticed at the same time that the camera was mounted on what we call a dolly, which means that they were going to roll backwards as I ran and try to keep me in focus. And I'm coming this way, and they're backing up like that. And I thought there was no way in the world they were ever going to be able to roll backwards fast enough to keep me in the camera lens. And I mentioned this to Leonard, who looked at me and let the eyebrow go up. And Walter, just run. It's okay. Well, now I had a double incentive. One, make sure these guys back here didn't catch me, and two, to prove to Leonard that he couldn't possibly move the camera that fast. So when he said action, I took off. I passed that camera as if it was standing still. There's no way in the world they were going to catch up with me, and of course he had to say cut, cut, and call me over, and a little bit embarrassed. Walter, I think we're going to need to have you go a little slower. So I said, that's fine as long as they go a little slower too. The reason why I was concerned was because earlier we had shot a scene where we shot it backwards, in fact. This was the scene that we shot earlier was one that was really taking place in the story a little later. It's where I have been captured and I'm surrounded. You know, I'm saying, Scotty, now would be a good time to bring me out. Well, at that point, they had these real Marines standing around, and the assistant director said to one young man, one of these real Marines, whose the button had been programmed, you know, and said, okay, what I want you to do is when the camera starts to roll, I want you to aim your rifle at this man. But first he said to him, he says, what's your name, son? He said, Jones, sir! And he said, no, let's relax here. What's your first name? Jones, sir! And you can see, you know, the mechanism was in place. She says, okay, Jones, sir. When the camera rolls, aim your rifle. He says, yes, sir! He says, okay, action. He goes. He armed the weapon. Armed the weapon and put it against my head. Now you understand why I was going left and left as fast as